A junior analyst on a team I work with actually quit her job just last month. She was pulling in a very respectable $72,000 a year, but she walked away from all of it. Why? To run an AI side business, entirely solo. And get this, just 6 weeks in, she crossed $8,000 in monthly revenue. No employees, no investors, just a laptop, a decent internet connection, and 4 very specific AI tools that she figured out how to combine in a way her clients literally couldn't. Now, she's not some tech genius, and she definitely didn't just strike gold with some viral moment. She just figured out the one fundamental thing most people completely miss about making money with AI right now. And by the end of this explainer, you're going to know exactly what that thing is.
So let's dive right in. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're walking through a completely no-fluff, highly strategic blueprint for making real money with AI in the 2026 economy. And let's get one thing straight right out of the gate here. I am not going to tell you to go start some generic, faceless YouTube channel or, flip mid-journey prints on Etsy. We've all seen those get-rich-quick hacks. Sure, they worked back in 2023, but I'm officially declaring them dead. The market is matured. So today, we're looking at the actual landscape of what is paying right now, what's totally saturated, and the exact framework you need to actually succeed.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're covering the integration shift, profitable AI hustles, a 4-step framework, the lean tool stack, mistakes to avoid, and finally, a 90-day action plan.
All right, let's start with Section 1, the AI integration shift.
I really want to expose the one major observation that's going to completely reframe how you think about this entire space. See, we are operating in a bimodal market right now. Think back to 2023. The strategy back then was just selling access, right? People made money simply because they knew how to log into ChatGPT before the rest of the world did. You were selling raw output, content, designs, some basic code, and you were getting paid a premium just for knowing how to use the tool. But here in 2026, that arbitrage, it's gone, completely dead. Literally everyone has access to Claude and Midjourney now. These tools are commodities. If you try to sell raw AI output today, you're selling something the buyer can generate themselves in about 15 seconds. And trust me, your pay is going to reflect that. It collapses down to pennies. So what's the 2026 strategy? It's all about selling integration. It's taking AI and combining it with your own judgment, your taste, and your specific domain expertise. Clients aren't paying for the tool anymore. They are paying for highly reliable workflows and incredibly measurable business outcomes.
Which brings us to Section 2, profitable AI side hustles. So if selling raw output is totally dead, what's actually generating revenue today? Let's look at the hard evidence. Take AI-powered short-form video production, for example. If you combine a script generator like Claude Opus 4.7 with human editing for brand voice, you can realistically look at $2,000 to $10,000 per client every single month. Or how about AI chatbot setup for small businesses? Using tools like VoiceFlow and Claude MCP integrations, you're looking at $1,000 to $5,000 for every setup. Then there's AI-assisted research. Utilizing something like Gemini 3.1 Pro's deep research can literally replace days of manual work. That allows you to charge anywhere from $200 to $2,000 per polished report. We're also seeing AI SEO content systems pulling in $2 to $10 grand a month, and voice cloning for audiobooks yielding $50 to $500 a project. Even highly niched faceless channels, and I mean specific stuff like quantum computing explainers, not just generic trivia, they can easily hit $2,000 to $20,000 monthly. And finally, right at the top end of the spectrum, we have AI consulting for traditional, non-tech businesses. That's bringing in a massive $5,000 to $25,000 per project.
Let's move on to Section 3, the 4-step framework.
Everything we just looked at, that is publicly available information. And yet, most people are going to try one of those for maybe 2 weeks and then just quit. To separate yourself from the beginners who are practically making pennies and become an operator having $20,000 months, you absolutely need this core methodology. Step 1. Pick a narrow niche. Don't just go out there and say, I do AI consulting. You need to say something like, I do AI consulting for dental practices in the southeastern United States. The narrower you go, the easier it is to find customers and charge a premium. Step 2. Build one workflow. Not 3, not 5. 1. Limit yourself to exactly 3 tools, become genuinely fluent in them, and productize that single workflow. You've got to stop tinkering with shiny new toys and actually focus on customer acquisition. Step 3. Charge for outcomes. I cannot stress this enough. The single most expensive mistake you can make right now is pricing your work hourly. Think about it. If AI makes you 5 times faster, an hourly rate literally cuts your income by 80%. Ditch the hourly rate entirely and charge a flat fee tied to the actual business result. And Step 4. Compound your reputation. Because while AI tools are just commodities, your track record absolutely is not. Every testimonial, every case study you get makes your very next sale that much easier.
All right, Section 4, the lean tool stack.
To actually execute that framework, you're going to need some infrastructure. But listen, you shouldn't go broke paying for 15 different software subscriptions. This lean stack should really only total between $200 and $500 a month. Let's rapid fire through it. For text, just pick one frontier model, maybe DeepSeek V4 if you want to self-host at the absolute lowest price, or ChatGPT 5.5 for that incredible token efficiency. For design, all you really need is Midjourney and Canva. For voice generation, 11 Labs is pretty much the gold standard, though Murph is a highly affordable alternative. For automation, Zapier connects everything super easily, while NAN is fantastic if you want open-source self-hosting. For research, Gemini is absolutely killing it right now. And finally, for management, just keep it simple. Use Notion for your organization and Stripe to actually get paid. Pick your tools from this list and completely ignore the rest.
Now, if your specific workflow actually requires software, you really need to understand an entirely new paradigm for product creation. It's called vibe coding. This is the practice of building applications simply by describing what you want in natural language. Powered by AI tools like Cursor, Claude Code, or Replit Agent, MIT Technology Review actually named this a 2026 breakthrough. Why? Because it entirely collapses the barrier between having a great idea and having a working product. You literally no longer need a computer science degree to build custom tools for your clients. You just need to know how to clearly articulate the problem. Moving right along to Section 5, 5 mistakes to avoid.
Okay, so now that you have the framework and the tools, we need to talk a bit of defense. These are the common pitfalls that are going to totally drain your time and kill your business before it even gets off the ground. Mistake number 1 is shiny object syndrome. You've got to stop chasing every single new viral AI demo that pops up on your feed. Lock in your tool stack for 90 solid days. Mistake 2, competing in saturated markets. Just avoid low-skill generic AI tasks where literally 100,000 other people are trying to do the exact same thing. Mistake 3, selling to consumers. Look, everyday consumers are incredibly price sensitive. You really need to be selling B2B to businesses that are focused on outcomes. They will gladly hand over $5,000 if it actually moves their revenue line. Mistake 4, failing to validate first. Please, do not build a beautiful, complex workflow in secret. Go find 10 customers, ask them exactly what they'd actually pay for, and then build that. And finally, mistake 5, quitting way too early. Generating meaningful revenue takes time. Don't throw in the towel at week 3 before those compounding effects finally kick in.
And that brings us to Section 6, the 90-day action plan. If you want to make this real, you need a rigid timeline. So here is your concrete day-by-day calendar blueprint for execution. Days 1 to 15, pick your narrow niche and validate it. Send out cold messages to 10 prospects on LinkedIn and literally just listen to their complaints. Days 16 to 45, build your minimum viable workflow. Pick your 3 tools, get perfectly fluent in them, and create 3 solid case studies. Honestly, even if you have to work for free initially to get those crucial testimonials, do it. Days 46 to 75, sell your first paid clients. Leverage those case studies, send 20 personalized cold outreach messages a week, and aim to close 3 to 10 actual paying B2B customers. And finally, days 76 to 90, it's time to scale. You decide here if you're raising your prices or if you're going to hire some help to free up your own time. I want to leave you with this really powerful realization from the source text. Patience is in much shorter supply than AI tools are. Think about that. The people making real life-changing money with AI right now aren't inherently smarter than you. They simply have the patience to follow a structured plan, focus deeply on business outcomes, and completely ignore all the noise. Now, for our next explainer, we are going to dive deep into the emerging agent frameworks that are literally reshaping everything. We'll be specifically comparing OpenClaw, MaxClaw, and NemoClaw. You are not going to want to miss how these are completely changing the development landscape. But until then, I want you to ask yourself, are you selling access or are you selling outcomes? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.